What's up, everybody? Buckle up because we're checking in with Coach Carter as he starts his 5th season of his college coaching career. Welcome back to the College Hoops 2K Career Legacy Mode series featuring the UT Martin Skyhawks and the legendary Coach Carter. Season 5 tips off today with a home game against Northern Colorado, who now has a former player of Coach Carter's. After our home opener, the Skyhawks will fly down south to the Sunshine State to partake in the preseason tournament hosted by the University of South Florida, and it looks to be a loaded bracket with some quality competition. Joey Ballard was in this series from seasons 1 through 3, but transferred in the offseason of season 3 for a few reasons. The now senior Ballard, he broke his ankle earlier in his junior campaign, which opened up the floor for Loughton to emerge as a solid starting piece, and thus Ballard wanted to play more and found more playing time at the University of Northern Colorado, and overall they look like a softball to ease us into the new year. As Ballard, now the lone senior here in the Big Sky Conference, he looks primed to be a focal point of this Northern Colorado attack. He's the lone senior on the roster after sitting out a required season due to NCAA transfer rules. So, one last look at our new rotation as we head into Season 5. Pierre Hamilton and Jacques, of course. They are the new backcourt. Still a little crazy to see with no more Dwight, Easley, or Marquis Saunders. Loughton now a senior, Faye now a senior, and Blaine Frye now an upperclassman. He's a junior. The now 6-man Teron Garner looks to build off his solid freshman campaign at the power forward spot, and Roshaun Martin and Dusty Harrison, the new starting backcourt off the bench for the UT Martin Skyhawks, and of course Darnay Betancourt, a 6'6 junior point guard, a transfer from the University of Oklahoma, and of course he's going to have to sit out a season, but a player that I like a lot. Pierre Hamilton, now a senior, he might be a bridge point guard for us, as Betancourt will most likely be the starter next season. A player who kind of reminds me of a Michael Carter Williams type of player when he was at Syracuse. So, back here in our stomping ground, the Skyhawk Arena, Joey Ballard became very accustomed to playing here, one of the OG players from that Season 1 roster. However, today he's sporting a different jersey. Faye wins the opening tip, and we're underway. Still a little crazy to see that, no more Saunders or Easley there beginning the game, but nonetheless, Northern Colorado is 0-1 on the season. They lost 66-61 to Colorado State, who's from the Mountain West, so hung tough with a pretty decent program there. Let's see what they got for us today here in our debut game as Faye makes the first basket of Season 5. Now, a quick disclaimer, I'm sorry about this in advance, but I had some wrong settings up for my Elgato, and there's a lot of choppy frames, a lot of frames missing, so the quality here in the Northern Colorado game won't look that good compared to the rest of my videos, but I had that fixed for the preseason tournament, so don't be afraid. I got that covered for you guys in the next game. So, exchanging threes is Jacques and Cortland Bradshaw, the starting point guard for the Colorado Bears, as Blaine Frye is now rejected by Kelly Schultz, who recorded 4 blocks against Colorado State for Northern Colorado. Now trying to go back door, but that one's shut off by Jacques. Out to Hamilton, and the lob will go up to Loughton, who had a career high in points per game in his junior season a campaign ago. Loughton, a player who we got high hopes for, as he will actually receive a pass on the next possession and knock down a 3. He continues to get better and better from beyond the arc, and that's something we're going to desperately need this year with the departure of Easley and Saunders, two 40% three-point shooters. 14-7 game, UT Martin with the advantage as now Loughton tips a pass. Trying to go cross court there was Kelly Schultz, and now a bounce pass. Hamilton, nice feed from Jacques. His second assist and Pierre Hamilton's first basket of the new year. Well in control of this game already, UT Martin up by 13 already, as Ballard will survey, gives this one off to Anthony Madranovic. No good there. Teron Garner will be the first bench player checking in today, as Hamilton will put the in and out move now over to Loughton. Will fire and knock down his second 3. He's already up to 12 points. What a start for Jacques. And already a timeout ensues. Northern Colorado pressing a little bit here. They look overwhelmed. 25-9 now, as the new freshman backcourt coming off the bench checks in. Roshaun Martin and Dusty Harrison. We'll see if they build the similar type of chemistry we've seen from Hamilton and Diggs when they were on the bench. Meanwhile, Joey Ballard puts in his first basket of the night, hit on his first shot attempt. Evan Schneiderman is the one committing the foul, and Ballard will complete the three-point play. Some of you guys may remember Evan Schneiderman. He had a redshirt season last year after being a little cold in his freshman campaign as he moves to the 3 to be the primary backup for Luke Loughton. He was really underwhelming in his freshman campaign, but now with a year of experience off the bench, maybe he could change the pace of his career, but he relinquishes now a three-pointer to Joey Ballard, who never shot more than 30% in his career at UT Martin from beyond the arc. Now he makes a nice pass to Kelly Schultz, but Roshaun Martin's there. The freshman picks it up, and he'll go coast to coast after he turns on the Jets. Roshaun Martin, his best attribute is actually his on-ball defense, which is already a whopping 85 for a true freshman. Very impressive, and he looks to be a defensive anchor for the second unit. Putting on the cross here, he'll kick this one out to Evan Schneiderman, who rips it clean. I feel like Schneiderman does have some untapped potential after a sub-bar freshman campaign. Some guys can make the jump to the college game without missing a beat. Some guys, it takes a little longer for them, so can't rush the process for anybody. Jacques there, showing off with that three-pointer. That's his third of the first half. He has 15 in his first college start. Let's jump to the second half. Diggs leads all scorers with 15, 6 for 8 shooting in his first college start, and Pierre Hamilton has 4 assists with no turnovers. He looks primed for the moment as well. Joey Ballard, a jump shot there. He leads the Bears with 10 points. 38-29 here as Blaine Frye and Chris Faye have been a little quiet, but some solid playmaking there for Blaine Frye as Diggs already reaches 20, and we still got a lot of time to go in this ball game. But surprisingly, that would actually be the last basket that Jacques Diggs makes because this game got pretty out of control. Blaine Frye, he steals it away, and look at this, he lobs Luke Loughton. I don't know, maybe Pierre Hamilton, he's rubbing off on some of these other UT Martin Skyhawk players. Now 49-33 as Dusty Harrison makes his first collegiate field goal. He had 2 free throws in the first half, but there's his first bucket at the D1 level. Now all of a sudden 57-33, a huge run for the Skyhawks as Harrison moves it around to Roshaun Martin, and how about a beautiful backdoor cut? Evan Schneiderman hooks up with Dominique Cleveland, a pretty unlikely duo there, but you gotta love the team play down the stretch here. Even Junior Galindo and Chauncey Cantrell, 2 former walk-ons, got into the game. That's how out of control it got here in the second half. And look at this play right here. By far one of my favorites of the entire ball game. Dusty Harrison. He had it stolen from him by Joey Ballard, but he takes it right back and scores, showing Ballard that there's a new number 24 on campus. 65-39 is your final tonight. Jacques Diggs would finish the game with only 20, but as you can see there on the right, the minutes were well allocated between starters and bench players as it became a blowout there at the end of the ball game. Loughton with 10, good performance from him. Blaine Frye and Chris Faye, it was hard to get them involved because this team was one of those clubs that played pretty much exclusively 2-3 zone, so it was hard to post up, but honestly, after only one game and having to face Kelly Schultz, who averaged 4 blocks a game this season so far, nothing to worry about too much from the bench or from the big guys. All in all, a solid performance, and we start out 1-0. Now looking to the Palm Tree Shootout, our preseason tournament here in Tampa, Florida. We will be facing the Cincinnati Bearcats, and if we take down this Big East opponent, we will earn the rights, the privilege to take on the #1 team in the nation as they knocked off the Furman Paladins by almost 30 points. But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. For now, we have to focus on the Cincinnati matchup, and on paper, we're 10-point underdogs. The Bearcats are highlighted by NBA prospect Vangelo Hicks, a Columbus native who can do it all. Hicks averaged 15 points and 8 boards a season ago, and also has the unique ability to pass well out of his favorite spot on the floor, the high post. Even for a Big East school, the Bearcats always seem to have imposing physical players and raw athletes, and other key players to watch are junior 2-guard Anton Lacey, who is very quick and loves to take transition threes, and freshman Byron Vasquez, who is a five-star recruit, as Vasquez is very unselfish and a player who is very mature beyond his years. And thus, welcome to Tampa, Florida, everybody, as our preseason tournament kicks off here. Chris Faye soars over another freshman for Cincinnati, Gus Langford, and wins the tip. The Bearcats, always a solid Big East program. They get on the board first. Let's see if we can try to play upset here in our second season game here in year 5, as Loughton will now fire another assist here in the early goings of year 5 from Pierre Hamilton, coming off a game where he had 6 of those in the season debut. Another thing to keep in mind, Cincinnati is a pretty young team. They got 5 freshmen who have a chunk of rotation time as Chris Faye scores his first basket of the ball game, and then Loughton responds with staying after it on the press. So 2 seniors with back-to-back buckets, 5-7 game, UT Martin on top. Jacques coming off a screen here from Blaine Frye will give it to the popping Frye, works this one over to Loughton, Hamilton, and now he'll look for his buddy. Jacques, a little handoff there, and that one's good from 3. Hamilton with assist number 2. Obviously the Bearcats, the miscommunication there in their zone defense. 11-5 game, a perfect start for UTM, but going down in the low post is something we've seen time and time again from Cincinnati, as Blaine Frye unfortunately picks up his second personal foul. Chris Faye already has 1 too. As this is the 4th time we're seeing the Bearcats at the free throw stripe earlier on in this ball game and make that 5, as now Vangelo Hicks gets Chris Faye into foul trouble. 2 for Faye now. And the Bearcats using their physicality to get our big guys in some early foul trouble. So now we're going to have to go with Dominique Cleveland and Teron Garner a little earlier than expected here. What a backdoor feed. Man, Vangelo Hicks is solid. He averaged 15 and 8 last year and also averaged near 4 assists as well, an NBA prospect for a number of reasons. 18-15 game, Bearcats retake the lead with a little run here as Roshaun Martin will check in with Dusty Harrison. Luke Loughton, the only starter out on the floor. Cross-court pass, there's Dusty Harrison for the game-tying 3, 18 apiece. Harrison was very solid in his freshman debut, 10 points against Northern Colorado last game. 18 up now, Lacey, wow, what a bounce pass to Gus Langford, who has also made 5 free throws, and there's his first field goal. 20-18 ball game now as Roshaun Martin, nice change of pace there against Hicks, as he will put a nice amount of touch on that one. High kiss off the glass for the freshman, his first make on his first attempt. 20 up now is Gus Langford, who is a pretty solid shooter for mid-range. Unfortunately hits the side of the backboard with that one. He might be unchecked in a full later. Nonetheless, Roshaun Martin, nice feed inside to Harrison. UT Martin back on top. 5 and some change left to play in the first half. Dusty Harrison sizes up his man. Inside to Dominique Cleveland, shot clock dwindling. Cleveland puts his shoulder into the smaller defender. That's a tough shot, but he tickles the twine. Dom Cleveland, not exactly one of the better offensive players on this team, but that's a tough shot. With his offhand and having to battle the tough angle with the backboard there, but he gets it done. Very inviting play from Dominique Cleveland. Now 26-20. Blaine Frye puts his shoulder into his matchup as well. That is J.D. Holloway, the backup 2 guard. A lot of height given up there as now Blaine Frye gets on the board, as Chris Faye and Blaine Frye, they're looking for better games here against Cincy, but they haven't really had it in this matchup either on offense. And now Jacques has his pocket picked by Byron Vasquez, the freshman. Anton Lacey goes coast to coast, knocks over Blaine Frye, who tried to dodge the charge, but his efforts were in vain. Cincinnati's already worked themselves into the bonus here, and Chris Faye has to work himself back to the bench next to Coach Carter with 3 personal fouls. 28-26, man, Chris Faye just can't catch a break earlier on here in his senior campaign. And now Anton Lacey, where did Jacques go? Left him unattended. Well, Jacques was blindsided by an off-ball screen, and that's what happens when you leave your teammates on defense out to dry. You don't call out those screens. And now a turnover by Dom Cleveland as Kendrick Steele, the point guard, the junior, will extend Cincinnati's lead to 3, and it's actually 11 unanswered points for the Bearcats as the second half is right around the corner. 12 seconds to go. Kendrick Steele now sizing up Loughton. He'll give this pass over to Byron Vasquez as he drains it. 34-28, but Hamilton not done yet. Great lead pass to Luke Loughton. Wow, another assist for Pierre Hamilton, and thankfully that bucket helps us get back in the game a little bit after 11 straight points for the Bearcats. UT Martin looked primed for this upset chance out of the gate. They knocked down their shots, shooting a healthy percentage and besting the Bearcats on the board for a decent amount of time there. However, Cincinnati started pushing the pace at the end of the first half, taking their defensive pressure up a level, and ended the first half on a 14-2 run. Cincy ended up out-rebounding us 11-7, and Faye dealing with 3 fouls, and Frye having 2. It's a huge question mark on how we're going to battle on the glass in the second half. Luke Loughton leads us with 7 points. Jacques has 6, but he's only taken 3 shots. He's going to need the rock more in the second. As Chris Faye, he's only played 7 minutes, but he does have 2 field goals, so he's looked okay. But at least Gardner's been stepping up with a team-leading 3 rebounds off the bench. Both Byron Vasquez and Langford have 7, leading the Bearcats. Now trailing by 6, let's hop back into some gameplay. A nice hook screen set there by Pierre Hamilton, freeing up Chris Faye. All around, that was a beautifully executed play. Luke Loughton, nice crisp bounce pass. Chris Faye out in some open space as he executes that play to perfection and knocks down the free throw as well. 7 points in only 9 minutes so far for Chris Faye. Now Diggs will go for the tie after Faye cut the lead in half with his 3-point play. No good that time as Kendrick Steele will assist up to Vangelo Hicks, who now has his first field goal. He made 2 free throws in the first half, but he's been a little quiet so far. Been a good team effort for the Bearcats. Now Hamilton, he's met with a trap as Cincinnati extending their defense out to the half-court line, but Hamilton with a great read there as he kept that dribble behind his back so he couldn't, turn it over, and the Bearcats didn't have a chance at picking his pocket. That's assist number 5 for him. 38-35 now as Vasquez, a little off a spin move, will assist to Hicks, who extends his shot to the perimeter. He can knock down a 3 every once in a while. Another reason why he's such a coveted NBA prospect. 42-35. UT Martin in danger of letting this one slip away as the shot clock winds down. Chris Faye from the short corner looks cross court to Diggs, who fires and hits from 3. Up to 9 now is Diggs. Obviously, he hasn't looked as great, as explosive as he did against Northern Colorado, but there's still plenty of time to turn that around. Now, Anton Lacey leaves it short. 42-40 game, a basket here, and we're looking at a tie game. And that's exactly what Jacques gives us. We haven't scored much in the post, but here in the second half, we're kind of flipping the script in that aspect as we dump it down low again. This time it'll go inside to Blaine Frye. Nice job there. A very smart play that some people may overlook by Pierre Hamilton there. He saw Blaine Frye had a smaller defender on him, so he put enough touch over it to get it into him. Now he dumps it down to Gardner on the very next possession as Gardner bounce pass Dusty Harrison a little far out. No problem for the young gun. 8 points as Dusty Harrison continues to turn heads, and that pass by Teron Gardner, you saw it there. He straight up nutmegged that Cincinnati Bearcats defender, and Dusty Harrison, he ripped it clean. 2 underclassmen get it done there with a very flashy play to take the lead. Up by 3 now, 7 and some change left to go. Vasquez off his back foot, cannot get the roll, but Nathaniel Ewing is there. He's another freshman in this Bearcats lineup, and he's been great in his college debut. Nathaniel Ewing with perhaps 8 points here if he can tie it up. No good, but soaring up for the board is Vangelo Hicks over Dominique Cleveland and company down low. Obviously, the rebounding has been a bit of an issue for UT Martin today against this Big East opponent. Now look at this though. Roshaun Martin with assist number 3. Him and Pierre Hamilton have combined for 9 assists at that point guard position. It's been in very good hands today. And on the very next possession, Blaine Frye received that pass very high out, took it all the way to the cup, retaking the lead for UT Martin. 52-51, approaching 5 minutes left to go. It's been a great game so far for the average viewer. And now look at this change of direction. That was a beautiful move by Kendrick Steele. He's up to 10 points. 8 of those have come in the second half. And now Hamilton there, he lets his guard down for just 1 second, and Steele also takes it away from him. Hamilton's been really good today, fighting off the pressure from the Bearcats, but it leads to a 3-point basket by Vasquez, and Byron Vasquez couldn't get the roll earlier with his previous shot. This time though, the shooter's touch falls in his favor. Luke Loughton now. Much better decision from Pierre Hamilton, but Loughton gives it right back. Back-to-back turnovers as Anton Lacey will drive, kick it out, top of the key, book it for the NBA prospect. Vangelo Hicks with 14. 12 of those have come in the second. 61-55, a difficult situation for UT Martin. Under 4 to play. Chris Faye though, he's got the matchup he wants, but he blows it, but Blaine Frye is there. Over 3 Bearcat defenders. How about the heart display there by Blaine? 9 points for him. He's looked a lot better here in his second game of his junior campaign. Now only down by 2, however we're running out of time on this possession. 2 seconds left. Diggs for the tie. That one's batted away. Not the best possession at this stage in the ball game. Kendrick Steele rotated over for a beautiful defensive play there. He's playing some big minutes down the stretch. 61-59. Now we The pressure's back on our defense to make a stop, but we can't manage it. Blaine Frye gets burned down low by Vangelo Hicks once again. What a special talent this kid is. And Cincinnati has the lead by a pretty decent chunk of change here. With the way they're defending down the stretch, it feels like we're down by 14 and not 4. 1:42 left to go. Diggs from the top of the key, that's short, and Chris Faye gets it back, but now he leaves it short as well. Chris Faye, come on, man, we have to have that one fall at this stage. Byron Vasquez controls it here for the Bearcats under a minute and a half to play. Hicks will rotate this one over to Kendrick Steele, who has been superb in the later moments of this ball game. Cincinnati continuing to pressure. Hamilton another nice read. Jacques Diggs bounce pass into Chris Faye, and he blows another one. Come on, Faye. Gus Langford with rebound number 8. Great debut for him, and he tops it off with a beautiful assist to Vasquez, who has probably been the best player for either team. If you're talking about offense and defense and overall impact, Vasquez, the freshman in his first collegiate game, was very impressive. A very noble performance when it's all said and done by UT Martin today. We had a chance of knocking off this Big East opponent, but we fell by 7, unfortunately. Hamilton with a whopping 8 assists, but he couldn't get on the score sheet. Jacques Diggs with another solid performance, 18, but he got burned in the second half a lot on defense. Hamilton was solid with 9. Faye and Frye both had 9, but obviously different ways of getting those 9 points. Blaine Frye a lot more efficient, but Chris Faye really looked like he was dogging it there late in the second half. And for the Bearcats side of things, Vangelo Hicks led the way with 16 and 6 assists, and Byron Vasquez had 13, marking well in every category. I was very impressed with those two players. Talk about two guys who can do it all. Now back to the bracket. Of course, Cincinnati plays Florida. We don't get the shot we wanted against the number 1 overall Florida Gators. And Cincinnati drops that game by 10, so the championship of the Palm Tree Shootout will be determined by Florida facing off against the Hokies of VTech. And you saw Furman losing to Florida, so that means we played them, and I decided to sit in this game because they weren't a very high overall club, maybe a 63 overall, I believe. We take this game by 10, improving to 2-1 here in year 5. Jacques Diggs with his second 20-plus point performance of his junior campaign. Pierre Hamilton will take that stat line any day of the week, and Chris Faye with his best performance, 15 and 3. He had a nice one. Even though we're only 1-1 within the tournament, we have given ourselves something to play for as we face Virginia Commonwealth for the championship of the Consolation bracket. VCU is always a school you expect to defend at a high level. Point guard Devin Paley is VCU's top scorer through their first 3 games, and you can call him a freshman sensation at 15 points and 3 rebounds. Their big men are skilled too. While a bit undersized, 6'7", Kenyon McVeigh pulls down a whopping 10.7 rebounds a game through the first 3 games. And 6'9", Josiah Finley is also a capable rebounder who plays bigger than his frames tells you. Plus, both guys possess the ability to stretch the defense as they both shot at least 34% from deep a season ago. So a very unique team we're dealing with here for the championship of the Consolation ladder. We should be in for a good one tonight. Jacques Diggs gets us on the board. He's in search for his third 20-plus point performance of his junior campaign as he dishes this one off to Chris Faye, who looks to get it going. Obviously, Faye has been slumping a little bit as he actually begins this game 1 for 3, so the struggles so far continue. And actually, Jang Chris Faye, nice pass from Paley there, and that is actually Kenyon McVeigh, the man I told you who averages over 10 rebounds a game. Both bigs on this team can definitely stretch the defense as Blaine Frye is now met. He will back his way down, goes with the behind the back pass to Chris Faye for his second field goal. I didn't expect this, but Blaine Frye, he's thrown a couple of highlight reel level dimes so far in his junior campaign, and that's always such a big part of Coach Carter's offensive scheme. Can the big guys facilitate? Now this pass is floated over to Devin Paley, who gets on the board, which should be the first of many baskets. We're going to try to have to silence this freshman sensation, Paley. He's averaging 15 so far on his first collegiate season. Now knotted up at 9s as Teron Gardner. He actually begins this outing with 2 quick turnovers. There's the second of the 2. Now 11-9 as Evan Schneiderman and company check in for the bench unit. Dusty Harrison now turns it back over once again. VCU is getting after it. What a save there. And they would actually score on that possession and another one on top of it. 15-9 now the Rams lead as Teron Gardner, nice lead pass, beautiful bounce pass to Dominique Cleveland. VCU plays a lot of 2-3 zone. We've seen a lot of that so far, but one way to beat it is doing what Teron Gardner did just there, going from low to high post. But we cut over to Josiah Finley for his first 3 ball of the ball game. 20-11, not the best start for UT Martin. With 4 minutes left to play, they only have 11 points. This offensive attack has been a little worse for wear out there, but there's a huge shot. Looking across the court, Roshaun Martin, Dusty Harrison. That could be a big shot to get some momentum under our belt. 20-14 now. Pierre Hamilton, Jacques Diggs, and Luke Loughton all check back in. Teron Gardner now with the steal. Bounce pass to Diggs as he actually works this one into the deep corner. Cross court, Loughton from one corner to another. Luke Loughton with another 3-pointer here in his senior campaign. Gotta love the strides he's made from that range. As now here is Elvis Sowers. A bench piece for VCU, who has a tough time getting that layup to fall. Tough rim to deal with there. And how about another lob? Jacques Diggs hasn't looked the best today shooting the rock, but that's assist number 3 for him. I think Pierre Hamilton's rubbing off on this offense a little bit. Only 20-19. Scoring's been hard to come by so far, as now that's a nice closeout from Luke Loughton. I mean, today's flavor has definitely been on the defensive side of the floor, that's for sure. Nice lead pass though. Diggs with assist number 4. Teron Gardner has really looked a lot better. He began this game, like I said, with 2 quick turnovers, but since then he has a basket, an assist, and a steal, and a block. So very important minutes for Gardner. Now this one goes to Elvis Sowers, who kicks this one around to Devin Paley. Good shot there, as Jacques Diggs, he's got to know when to switch and when not to. And when you're covering Paley, who's been as hot as him, you got to just take the layup and not give up the 3. But Diggs makes up for it there, hustling back on defense to set up this lead pass by Pierre Hamilton. Chris Faye with points 5 and 6. However, though, he's only shooting 3 for 9. So a lot of volume, but not a lot of points for Faye. Both teams had a tough time breaking 40% shooting, and points in the paint have been so hard to come by for both teams. If you're a fan of defense, then you've definitely turned your TV to the right channel. It's been impressive how we've checked out on the glass though. We have the advantage 14-11 on the boards against a very physical VCU club. Chris Faye has been leading in rebounds and points with 8 and 5, but he's also 4 for 10 shooting. And Loughton is right behind him with 5. His senior year so far has been the best we've seen Luke on offense. And even though Diggs is 2 for 5 without a 3-pointer, he's shipped in 4 assists. The playmaking for the backcourt has improved with each passing minute today. But speaking of playmaking, Josiah Finley sets up his teammate, the point guard. That is actually the backup Zaire Barnhill, who makes his first shots, but Diggs will float it up back the other direction. From one side of the court to another. How did that pass not get picked off? Who knows, but a beautiful dish there. Diggs got 5 on the ball game, and that one snatched by Luke Loughton. Hamilton turns on the Jets. He'll float this one up to Jacques Diggs. Points 7 and 8 as the two good friends hook up again. 36-35, VCU up by a single point as Warner, the 6th man for VCU, will feed this into the high post, but another pass is picked off. McVeigh turns it over. Faye with steal number 2, Diggs from 15 feet away. He's already walking back. Hamilton, dime number 4. A lot of team assists in every game we've seen so far from UT Martin. As you saw there, Pierre Hamilton, he was looking for his buddy all the way up the floor. Now here comes Kevin Holt. We haven't heard much from him today, but he will dish this around to McVeigh. Josiah Binley and Kenyon McVeigh have been stretching our defense. They combined for 14 points so far. VCU's bigs are skilled outside of the key, and so far that's been their way to combat the tough interior defense by UT Martin. Now Pierre Hamilton off the mark from 15 feet, but Blaine Frye is there. Our rebounding continues to be much improved since the Cincinnati game. Now here's CJ Murray, a couple bench players, and he's one of them for VCU on the floor. Doesn't get that one to drop. Evan Schneiderman with a rebound number 2. This will lead to a Pierre Hamilton take, as he's got his 2nd field goal of the ball game. And a little in and out move. He got Elvis Sowers, that is, leaning. And that was a beautiful layup with his offhand. Now Hamilton checks out, a bit of a unique rotation for UT Martin as Harrison's playing the 2. Diggs moves to the 1 as he sets up Luke Loughton. No good there, but Blaine Frye is there for offensive rebound number 2 and the hoop plus the horn. Beautiful job there by Blaine Frye. Man, he has really turned heads here. Took him a while to get on the score sheet, but he's pretty much marked in every other category. No good on the free throw there, but Loughton is there. He takes it away from Josiah Finley, and this game is back to tie it up. Loughton's first basket of his second half performance. UT Martin still running with this unconventional lineup, knotted up at 50, under a 5 to play now, as Diggs floats this one over to Harrison, receiving a screen, and Harrison drawing so much defensive attention, he'll give it to Diggs, and he will sink it through. 15 points for Diggs. Up by 3 is UT Martin, as Diggs continues to run the show. I mean, why not keep him at point guard with how well he's facilitated today? Teron Gardner backs down his man, drop step, cross court. Harrison, that's a little far for him, and he still gets it to go. That's one of those shots where if you're Coach Carter and Harrison misses, then he's sitting next to you, but he knocked it down, so you can't complain as a coach. 56-50, under 4 to play now. UT Martin so close to knocking off this Colonial Athletic opponent, but that dish there by Paley, one of the best we've seen all game long, and Loughton's trapped, but a smart move there. Calling timeout is Coach Carter to bring the starting 5 back out on the floor. So Hamilton and Faye make their re-entry, up by 4 now with 3:20 left to go. This place is rocking right now. Hamilton, nice dish. Oh, Faye will get that one to drop. Had no idea if that roll was going to be a beneficiary for Faye, but it was indeed. He got it to drop. Now 58-52, Faye has looked much improved in the second half, but Hamilton with a bit of a boneheaded play there. Barnhill has all 9 of his points on 3-point attempts, but still up by 4 though. No harm, no foul. VCU not going anywhere, but if we can get maybe one more stop, maybe we can clinch this game. Paley, kick out to Finley, goes with the drop step. That is a huge stop on defense there. Loughton provided help, and Finley was off the mark. Maybe one more basket here can be the end of VCU today. Hamilton will take this one all the way off the crossover. We'll draw free throws, and Hamilton up near 80% for his career from the charity stripe. We'll knock down 2 for 2, and that gave us the cushion we needed to take this game by 8. So UT Martin is the Consolation bracket champions. A pretty good consolation prize if you ask me. Diggs with 4 first half assists, but he followed that up with becoming the focal point of the offense with 13 second half points. So it was cool to see him whenever he was struggling, looking for his teammates. He has the ability to. Remember, he was recruited as a point guard. Hamilton was solid, and Chris Faye, I gotta give him his props today. Chris Faye, he started out really struggling. He began the game 3 for 9, but he finished almost 50%. And if he didn't have his big second half, then I don't think we win this game. He finishes with 16 and 9. So we finished 4th in the Palm Beach Shootout. So I'm alright with that, definitely. In a bracket that also contained teams like Florida, Cincinnati, and VTech. We'll take 4 out of 8 for sure. And actually, Florida was actually upset in the championship there by VTech. Pretty surprising there. So that will be it for the Season 5 debut episode. A lot of fun today making this one. UT Martin gets a well-deserved 2-week rest before picking things back up against 13th-ranked LSU, and then 2 conference games, one against the winless Murray State Racers and the Morehead State Eagles. So we'll be hopping into our first conference games in the next episode. Very happy you could come out today. Also in the next episode, I'm going to have a little recruiting update, because if you saw on the calendar in the last slide that the in-season recruiting opens up there where you can offer scholarships, and there's like a week window where they can accept within the season. So I've offered a few scholarships so far, and we'll see if anybody takes the bait, so to speak, for UT Martin. We got Samuel Barnett, Dominic Mims, and Byron Gill are our top 3 prospects. We'll receive an update next episode on how those recruits are doing, and kick off conference play when you see me next with Coach Carter and his UT Martin Skyhawks. Stay tuned. Take care, everybody.